If you ever struggle with your creative process or knowing when to share your work, you are going to love these quotes and hopefully they'll help push you forward in whatever it is that you're working on. One of my favorite books is Dancing with the Gods by Kent Nerburn. I love this book so much. It is definitely one that I continue to go through. I probably pick it up a couple times every year because it's just full of so much goodness and inspiration, especially if you are creative, if you are creating anything in the world, whether you are a podcaster, you create videos, you love to dance or sing, or any kind of creating, you're a writer, maybe you're writing screenplays. If you are a creative person, you need to read this book. You are going to love it. It just speaks so much about the creative process. And there are so many things in here that help us stay encouraged with our work. One of the reasons I love rereading books or just going back to them and flipping through a page and just reading what's meant for me at that time is the fact that you're a different person when you read a book a year ago than you are today. Well, hopefully, right? Hopefully, we've grown. And so when you pick up a book that you've read before, you're going to discover things that you missed the first time around, things that didn't resonate with you in the past that now deeply resonate with you. And sometimes I'll be reading a book and thinking, why? Why did I not highlight that part when I first read it? This is so powerful. And so today I wanted to share, as I'm rereading it, I wanted to share a couple of the quotes that really stood out to me, and hopefully they will encourage you in your creative work. Okay, here's the first one. If you would truly be an artist, you must believe that your art, whether interpretation, object, or performance, is bigger than the idea that gave it birth. The moments when you are feeling most lost are simply the moments when your art is seeking new growth. Embrace them, celebrate them. They are the moments of magic when you are most open to creative possibility. And it is magic when it occurs that turns cold idea into living art. I absolutely love this because when was the last time you had this idea? You had an idea, maybe it was for a podcast or a video or a play. One of my past guests was Jeff Pearlman, who had this idea of writing a screenplay. And so he wrote this play, and it was just this birth of an idea. He had an idea of what the play could be, and then he wrote the dialogue and set the scene. And then all of a sudden, he was able to collaborate with someone in the community, and then they put together this play. They actually got the actors, they brought everyone together, and they created this beautiful play. And it was this idea, but then it became bigger. It became bigger than what he even thought it could possibly be. And so whatever it is that you have this idea, it's this little seed, this little inkling of an idea, and then we get to play into that. We get to take the next step into what it could possibly turn into. And I just absolutely love this idea of it being magical. If you are a creator, you just don't know where something might lead you. We see this all the time with different creators that post a video and all of a sudden it gets so many likes and views and it turns into this whole big thing. And some people have made a career or a living out of their YouTube channels or their podcasts because this one idea turned into something so much bigger than they thought. And it serves so many people. So many people got on board with it. They love it. It resonates with them. Your art is bigger than that original idea, but you have to take that original idea and do something with it. I often wonder how many dreams are just dying inside of someone because they aren't willing to take the first step. And so we have to have that belief. We have to have that belief in ourselves, the belief in our dreams that we know that whatever it is that is in our heart, we can take that little seed of an idea and take that next right step and see where it might go. Okay, here's the second quote. Every artist knows this feeling, whether it is the actor trying to shape a character, the composer trying to get the orchestration just right, the writer trying to expand a description, or the painter trying to decide whether to add another color to the canvas. We are seeking that moment when our work turns toward us and says, I am complete, I am done, I am all I ever can be. In truth, this seldom happens. More often, we reach a point where we become blind to our work. We find ourselves analyzing rather than creating, hoping that by parsing our decisions one more time or a little more closely, we will come to that certainty and clarity when in fact, with each parsing, we are becoming less clear and less certain. We know too much and trust too little. Eventually, we reach a point when we simply have to say, enough, I choose to let go. This is a difficult moment because letting go is an act of faith, not an act of knowledge. It is a moment when courage meets instinct, and we have to choose against what feels like our better judgment to step back and set the work free. We have to set the work free. I have a lot of author friends, and we often talk about how challenging it can be when you're finished writing a book. You have to get it out in the world. You just spend so many months or years creating and writing this beautiful piece of work. And if we keep going back to it, of course, we're going to make tweaks and changes. And the more that we write, the better we get. So you could write a whole book and it take you a couple years and then go back from the beginning and want to start all over. And then we would never get the work out. So at some point, you have to be willing to say, okay, this is as good as it's going to be at this moment in time, and I'm going to set the work free. And then at that point, the book no longer belongs to you, it belongs to the reader. Just like your video or your podcast or your newsletter, whatever it is that you're putting out into the world, you are creating it, and then you get to share it in the world to see how it resonates with people. And what's really cool is that the more that we create, the better we get. And when we share, we're able to get the feedback we need to get better in our work. And what I have discovered is that the more that we create and the more that we are able to get feedback and take that feedback to make our work better, you're constantly learning and growing as a creator. You're learning what you're curious about. You're learning what direction you might want to go next in whatever your work is. There are so many pieces of this book I really love. Those are two that really stood out to me as I was sitting here and reading the book. And I thought, hey, I'm just going to share these two quotes and hopefully they resonate with you in some way, whether it is in the creative process that you have this idea and you're not quite sure if you want to go or play with it. This could be your push to do that. Or if there's a piece or something that you're working on that you haven't yet shared and you think, hey, I really want to share this with the world. This is maybe your encouraged little push to share some of your work and to see how the world responds to it. Either way, I hope that you found some inspiration in these quotes. I highly recommend reading the book, Dancing with the Gods. It is a beautiful book, very well written, and it will absolutely encourage you on your creative journey. As always, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And until next time, go create something.